Greetings, traveler. Come warm yourself by the fire. Let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of adventure, tales of heroism, tales of Tamriel Take 2. Because I had myself muted. Hey, Ark, how are you?
I'm doing good again.
Yeah, you don't get such a good intro this time because I was stupid and had my mic muted. Yeah, there we go. Intro again. I'm feeling pretty bad about that. Thank you, chat room, for letting us know that I am not too smart at this point. I had muted myself because during the intro music, I didn't want anyone to hear my mic, and I forgot about it because I don't mute it via the hard mic, which is here on my mic. I mute it via the disc or the OBS mute, and I forgot to uncheck it. It's been a day.
I talked to myself, basically, in that intro.
Yeah, you really did.
They couldn't hear you, but I could hear you, so...
Yeah, you could hear me because, of course, I'm not technically muted on this side, and, yeah, there you go. Mantic13 in chat says, I blame Mark. He probably tampered with the mic. It does seem
he blames for everything.
It seems highly suspect. I tend to agree.
How would I tamper with your microphone from 7,000 miles?
I don't know. It's wizardry. You got me. I don't know.
I don't understand magic. I'm just a Nord. just a Nord with an axe. Or sword and shield if I'm tanking, unlike you.
Oh, ouch. Got the burn in early. I like it. All right. Well, before we begin the show, I got to give a special shout out to a couple of our, new patrons here. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. Of course, shout out to Ian Mance, who pledged last month, as well as Nathan Gregory, who is a re-up pledger. Thank you so much for that. Of course, let me open this up as well. I definitely want to give another shout out because we haven't done this lately, and I really think we probably should, to some of our other patrons who've been with us for quite a while. So let me pull this up. I actually had a few people in here. I wanted to give a special shout out to, Cameron. Cameron, who has actually almost been a constant supporter for almost 2 years now. A full 2 years. Of course, Brad Anderson as well. He's been on here for almost a full year. Thank you so much for that. The one, the only Scooter himself. He's been supporting us for just broke a year this last month. So thank you so much for that. And of course, Happy has been over almost 6 months. So thank you so much, guys. Definitely want to say thank you to all you guys who have been supporting us. You guys are amazing, and it really is awesome. So thank you so much. I'm definitely going to make a concentrated effort to start shouting out more people who have been supporting us for long periods of time. I think you guys deserve it, and it's a bit of a disservice to you guys that you get a shout out once, but not more often for your constant support. So I'll be picking several people a week to shout out and let people know that we do appreciate you guys are still supporting us, and it's amazing. Just a quick little bit of housekeeping because I think I talked about this arc with you pre-show that Patron did some fun things the other week where they adjusted the way fees were being done, which unfortunately affected a lot of our patrons because it started to put a lot of the burden on you, the patron, instead of us, the provider, which it really should. They tried to change it up a little bit and make it so that the processing fee was handled by the actual patron, not the creator. And that caused a lot of issues, especially with our low-end patrons who do the low tiers of like $1, and it ended up almost doubling their patron cost. So they've actually since reversed that because I know we lost several patrons because of this, I'm assuming. It just seemed to coincide. So I don't know, maybe you just don't like us anymore. I'm just kidding. Everyone has their reasons. But if this was something that indeed was causing a little bit of a headache, which I definitely know was, they have since reversed that, which is cool because I was in the middle of actually creating whole new sets of tiers that would be less and incorporate it for people so that way they can, you know, still pledge and not lose out and try to have us take the fee. But thankfully, I guess I didn't have to do that. So if that was something that was holding you back, there it is. Of course, if you support us for even $1 a month over at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlnetwork, you get all of our shows up to, well, sometimes even more, a day early, and get to see some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. So that's always fun, and we definitely appreciate it. It does help us, you know, continue doing the show, continue trying to make it better, and yeah, here we are. All right. Ark, let's go ahead and jump right on into the show. We're going to mix things up today. Normally we do the tales first, but since there's so little news, we're going to do the news first and then go right into tales. So, Ark, what do we got on the news docket today?
All right. Well, I did a strategic mistake and started the game of Legends, but I think I can multitask this.
Oh, okay.
Just throw creatures and do the show, do the news at the same time.
Yeah.
So there is a giveaway going on Bethesda's official Twitter. That is at Bethesda. You have to retweet this single tweet, which I believe we can put in the description below. Yeah.
Yes.
For the recorded version. All right.
Yeah.
It's called the Bethesda Christmas Bundle. It includes Morrowind Collector's Edition for PC, ESO Morrowind Funko Pop figure set, and collection of posters. There is obviously a set of rules, sweepstake rules, eligibility, countries, things like that. So you can go ahead and check them out from the link. I'm just posting it on in Twitch chat right now, and for the record version, you can check the description.
Yep.
That said, the other piece of news we have, which is unfortunately the ZeniMax Online apparently decided to just keep on all of their information until 2018, New Year, so we haven't been getting any news. But the New Life Festival is here. If you have been logging into the game, you would have noticed this because it started on December 14, the last Thursday, and it will run until January 2nd, 2018. So it's a 2-week-long event. It's the same as before. You do dailies, you get extra experience, you get different collectible items, all the good stuff like that. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else to say about this event.
There is not. Well, there is one thing I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
There's nothing new in terms of actual gameplay, right? All the achievements are the same because that was one of the things I looked at. But they actually did add in several new. Let me pull it up. Several new mementos and cosmetics. First off, the first memento that they actually add is they actually added in the mead memento now. Remember last year you actually had to go and click on the mead barrel that was by Bretta, and it gave you the 2-hour buff.
Yep, yeah, which was a pain to do every time.
Yeah, well now it's a memento that the first time you complete the introductory quest. Ooh, thank you for the follow, Falamir. Thank you, Flamamir. There we go. Thank you, appreciate that. You actually get a memento now, which is just like an old mead stein that you drink, and now you get it. Now, the buff only lasts during the event, but it's a memento you get to use. The second thing is actually they added in a bunch of other mementos that they didn't last year. Remember some of the fun toys you got, like the sword swallower, the daggers, and the breathing torch thing that you would actually, as part of the quest? You would get these little white items that you'd be able to use. They were consumables. You'd get them. Whoop-de-doo, right? Well, here's the thing. They now added them as permanent mementos in the game. So there's like 3 or 4 new ones that have been added. So now you'll actually get a chance to... let me pull it up. See, we got Bread as Bottomless Meat. I have it here on the chat. So if you're using that, you got that fun thing. Let's see. I'm just going to scroll down my list here because... the Fire Breather's Torch. That when you use that, there's my guy... doing his little fire breathing thing. yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah. Let's see. There's that one. There was the juggler knives. So now you get the knives to juggle. The mud ball pouch was already there last year. That one we already got last year, but now will get a chance to get it again. And where is Sword Swallower Blade? So now you can swallow a sword if ever you wanted to. I don't know why you would, but there you go. You can now do that like my guy is doing. So there you go. There were at least 3 new ones added outside of the mug. So 4 collectibles that you can now add into your collection. So something to keep it. And hello, Nikki in chat from Aloha and Nikki. So there we go. Yeah. So yeah, those, if you haven't been doing this, like, you know, like my first impression was when I first logged in, it was like, I already have all the achievements. I already have this. I already have that. So what's the point? Until actually it was Storms who came on and was like, oh yeah, but they added new collectibles. I knew about the mug, so I went in and did that, but I wasn't really doing any of the quest, only to find out they did add more collectibles. So, yeah. Nikki said, I just joined, but that collectibles menu new. Actually, to be honest, I think my collectibles menu is might be somewhat affected by one of my add-ons. I'm not really sure, because I do have a filter now, which allows me to type things in, and it will actually pull things up, which is really awesome. I think
the filter was already
there,
but now I can't be sure.
And as we have here in chat, if you're not doing, you can buy these rune boxes in the guild stores. They're actually really cheap. The highest I've seen one go is 6,000 gold. So if you really don't want to farm them, you can probably buy them, because people are getting a lot of them. So that's just a little tidbit for anyone who hasn't been doing it, because it's like, oh, it's all the same as last year. Well, yeah, but they did add new rewards, so maybe that's something that will be worthwhile. Yeah. Okay. Ark, let's go ahead and move right on into Tales of Tamriel. What have you been doing this week?
Well, good question, because I haven't been doing anything in Elder Scrolls, unfortunately. It's my annual stay away from Elder Scrolls time, for whatever reason. Because every year, for a month or two, this happens. I'm like, I steer away from Elder Scrolls for whatever reason, because of other games or because of, I don't know, stuff.
All right.
And I'm in that moment. Although I am fighting against this guy right now in the Elder Scrolls Legends, and I had 4 health, and he had 31 health, and I just made him resign. So there's that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Active Tales right here.
Yeah. No, I like it. I like it.
Even doing my tales in real time on stream. But yeah, unfortunately, I haven't done anything Elder Scrolls related. Hopefully, I'll get back into it, but I don't know when, I don't know how. Maybe with some Skyrim, maybe with some Oblivion. I know Nikki has been playing Oblivion every Saturday, so maybe I'll get inspired from that and, you know, start another Oblivion gameplay myself, even though you hate it.
I do hate Oblivion. It is the worst game out there.
Yeah, you also think Sexplorer is a good build, but hey, you know, you are wrong all the time, so hey, it's okay.
Well, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. So I need to find something with detection yet. No, I think I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one, because, you know, but yeah. It's cool.
Even Nikki says Oblivion hard blasphemy. Indeed, it's blasphemy to say Oblivion is the worst game.
It is.
You can like something better, but Oblivion is definitely not the worst yet. I will not accept that. Now, after playing Morrowind, I understand why you love it so much.
Yeah,
no problem there. But how do you keep Skyrim above Oblivion? How does that work? It was so dull compared to Oblivion.
No, Skyrim was amazing compared to Oblivion.
Is it because the dragons that you love so much?
Is it because of the dragons I love so much? No, it's not. It's not. It's actually more along the thing that really annoyed me is the fact that they added fast travel immediately upon logging into the world. You could port to any of the districts. It really kind of took a lot out of it for me. That was one of the major things I just looked at and went, all right, this kind of sucks. Yeah.
That's the only reason you could come up with, is that it.
Oh, no, and the potato heads suck. Oh, my goodness. The graphics are terrible. Like, I don't know what in creation they tried to do there. The pizza wheel
graphics were terrible.
Oh yeah, they were.
The people were
awful.
Potato heads, indeed, but it was fun. It was a comic relief. I mean, I know they didn't intend it that way; they just couldn't make it properly. But
yeah,
it was a comic relief, and it was good.
No, it's not good. It's so terrible. It's awful. It's just absolutely terrible. Like, I don't know how you could even play that game. Like, I honestly have no darn clue how you could play that game. None. It's absolutely terrible.
I'm gonna read what Nikki said, because I completely agree with him in this. The problem is, and I'm a victim of this, there's a difference between a game being great and loving a game. Oblivion was my first gaming romance, and as such, it has a great level of nostalgia and good feelings. Does that mean Morrowind or Skyrim is poop? Certainly not. But to me, Oblivion is best because as humans, we associate good feelings with the things that are good. I agree, like, Oblivion was my first proper gaming experience as well.
Gotcha. It makes sense. Morrowind was mine, so I mean, obviously the graphics of Morrowind were nothing to be like, whoo, you know, especially looking back at it. But for the time period, it was really good, and it was just something that was absolutely amazing. The one thing I will give Oblivion, which I can't really give it too much credit because Morrowind did it better. At least they kept a lot of the original RPG skill system that Skyrim did away with, like, you know, strength, dex, and, you know, all that fun stuff with normal stats, instead of completely dumbing it down. But then again, Oblivion was dumbed down from Morrowind, so yeah.
Oh, Morrowind is. I played Morrowind for 30 hours or something recently. I've talked about this on the show, and how difficult how frustrating a game can get with its everything, like with its skill system, with its UI. I tried to cast one simple magic with, like, I don't know, 45% chance. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yep.
But yeah, it's part of the fun. It's part the challenge. The frustrating challenge is part of the fun as well, which I didn't know I would enjoy before playing Morrowind, and apparently I do.
Right? Like, it really is. It's just fun. Like, but you're right. But the thing with Morrowind that I really love is the fact that you can, almost without knowing, screw yourself up to the point where your game is completely over. And you don't even know it till later. It's not like an immediate, oh, I could just reload the save. You could be playing for 30 hours before you realize, oh no, I messed that up. Oh no. Like, I did this where I wanted to go in and I needed a house, something just to store stuff. Well, in Morrowind, at least the original, there was really no housing, but if you found an empty house, you could use it, right? So I ended up killing somebody just to take their house. I thought they were a no-named NPC, whatever. I just killed them. Like you could in Skyrim and things like that. But see, the thing with Skyrim, which, again, when I played Morrowind, this was new to me, but I killed this guy, and it actually turns out the guy was needed for a very high level, I mean a very high level, Fighters Guild quest line. I actually screwed myself out of finishing the Fighters Guild because I killed a guy who I had to talk to and no longer existed. So yeah, like, and this was a high level one, like it was almost near the end of the line, and because I killed him and couldn't talk to him to initiate the quest, I had this quest in my log that I could never finish, and I could never finish the Fighters Guild because of me doing that. It was insane, like absolutely insane that you could royally screw yourself over, and it took me like 40 hours to realize it. It was because I didn't do the Fighters Guild quest right away. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this or whatever, and I'm moving along doing my thing, and only when I got to it and finally was starting to clear up did I realize I can't finish this. And yeah, that really cemented in me the idea of consequences for your actions in video games, which was kind of like a new thing to me. Because, you know, other games you can go ahead and just do whatever you want. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, no, I royally screwed myself out of finishing something because I just was like, I need a house early on in the game. And I messed that up. Yeah. All right.
Is there no other way than, you know, murdering someone and claiming their house in Morrowind to get a house? Like, that's the only way?
I think in later expansions they gave you options, but I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. I don't really know. I know there's some empty houses people make mention of, which you can then just adopt, but I think that's about it. Like, I don't think you can actually do a whole lot other than that. So yeah. Yeah. Well, that was a fun little off topic, but it kind of works. So let's go ahead and just jump right on into what else I was going to talk about, which I guess is our tales. For me, anyway. All right, so I have this marked as for new episode because I wrote this, I think, during last episode because I just so happened to be, you know, jumping in and playing. I was playing that's what it is, Legends. So kind of neat because I think I talked about this the other day that I bought the collector's edition of the Clockwork City, right? Because it was 4,000 crowns. I got a mount, I got a pet, I got the DLC, and I got what else did I get? A few XP scrolls. Well, in all honesty, I was planning on buying the mount and the pet anyway, which came out to like 3,600 crowns or whatever if I would have just bought those two. So for like another 600 crowns, I got the DLC, so it's always with me, even though I'm ESO Plus, and I probably won't ever play this game without ESO Plus because crafting bags. But for 600 crowns, I got a bunch of XP scrolls as well. So I went ahead and just bought that, and it worked out really well for me, I think. So, but when I bought that, kind of a side thing was it awarded me the first chapter of Clockwork City in ESO Legends for owning it, like right off the bat, which I thought was really awesome. So I didn't have to buy it; it just gave it to me. So I was excited about it. That was pretty cool. Okay, so let's see. Following up, this was probably 2 weeks ago because it said ran dungeons all week, only got a die stamp, which I can't use anyway. This was for I guess it was the ESO dungeon event, the 10 million reasons to play event, where you could run the dungeon and then you could get a box at the end that would possibly have rare stuff in it. Well, I didn't get any collectibles outside of a die stamp. Now, the thing that I didn't really look into, which may or may not have an effect, is maybe you don't get stuff. Like, some people said they got different costumes. I'm like, yeah, but I already had those costumes. Like, I had bought them a long time ago, right? So I'm wondering if that affected my chances and made it feel like I was getting less than I really was. Because, did you get a costume? Did you get anything?
Me? I didn't even do the event.
Oh, okay.
Like, well, do you think with my RNG I would get anything useful?
Well, I'm trying to think of who it was, but pretty much the person who said they got was I shouldn't say all they got, but the thing that they got was just a costume that I think I already had. I think it was like the Need It costume or something, and I'm like, well, I already have that. So I'm curious if I owned a lot of the stuff on the list and therefore had a much smaller chance of actually receiving anything good. It's a possibility. I don't know.
It is a possibility depending on how they coded the chances. Like if they made it so that
well, I assume they would have.
The pool of items you will get have individual drop chances. Then yeah, the fact that you have a lot of them basically decreased your chances. But if they made it somehow gradual to each other, like the numbers of item that you already own, the numbers of item that are in the chests or the boxes, whatever it was dropping, basically it depends on how they handle the RNG distribution between items.
Yeah. I honestly believe that they had the pool, but when you have an item, because it's not like they're going to convert it to crown gems, because it's not a crown gem item. So I think it's just like if it rolled and said, oh, you would have gotten a costume, it does a check, reward if, just a simple script, reward if does not exist. If it doesn't exist, you get it. If not, just skips it. And I think that is pretty much what happened to me.
You can't fathom the fact that your RNG just wasn't good enough, can you?
No,
it's a new thing to you.
It really is. It's almost as bad as when we were running IC night, and the one guy we were running with, Smirchy, said that he stole my RNG for a week because during the IC event that they did a little while ago, the IC event had double drops and stuff like that. So he got all 3 polymorphs in like one sitting. He bought a bunch of boxes, opened, and got all 3 of the Zivkin polymorphs. It was insanity.
Maybe he stole it for good, like not just for the week.
He may have. I haven't
gone. From now on, you are one of us.
One of us. I'm one
RNG people. Yeah.
One of the RNG plebs. Sounds about right. Yeah, kind of sucks. Yeah, but so I got a die stamp, which, because I'm ESO plus, doesn't matter. I can't use it because I'm ESO plus. So it's disabled for me because it's like, why would you need it? Right? So that was fun. Definitely fun. And shout out to Gobanis. He was running with me doing a bunch of dungeons the other night. We ran and as well as Medg. Med, M-E-D-G, that's the @username for it. We were running dungeons and doing veterans and stuff like that because I was farming my PvP set, trying to get together a PvP set. And I needed Celine's shoulder, which I actually got, or helm, I got a good one. As well as I needed, what else did I need? Automaton set. So we were running that, and they ran with me a bunch, and it was really, really cool because Med didn't actually have any of the veteran dungeons done, so we were able to get them the veteran hard mode stuff for a lot of the dungeons, and one of them is Darkshade Caverns. Oh my goodness, dude!
The one with the Grobel.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I can solo Grobel. Like, not tanky, but I mean the AoE part. My AoE is sick. Like, disgustingly sick. If I have a tank holding...
What build are you running?
My 2-handed build? Oh my goodness, is it disgustingly sick. Like, I actually ran a random, okay? And it threw me in at Grobel. And the guys, like, they're... Like, as soon as I got into the dungeon, this is fun. As soon as I got into the dungeon, all I saw was a bunch of cursing in chat. Okay, so apparently the healer and the tank were yelling back and forth at one another. It's like, we can't beat this because you're not tanking it. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And they're like, we keep wiping. We can't handle this. I'm like, don't you worry. I got it. Like, I legitimately said, don't worry. I got this. And they're like, I said to the healer, just focus on me, make sure I stay alive, and we will get all of it down. So the healer's like, fine, I'll do that. And so she focused on me. My AoE, at the end of it, the other DPS was like, dude, I didn't even touch any of them before you had them all day. Like, I've never seen them drop so freaking fast. And it's all because of reverse slash. The executability, because it spreads to surrounding targets and does 66% of the damage done. So if I get one of those things low and hit for 20k, it's doing like 10k to everything around me. It's just a never-ending event. Oh my goodness, dude. By the end of it, even the tank and the healer were like, dang, dude. And the other DPS was like, see, now you two can stop fighting. It was a DPS problem. I'm like, yeah, I got this. It's insanity how much damage I was doing.
Is this a new thing though? Like the spread? No, or was it always like this? And we never knew.
It was always like this, but no one really used it because the other one provided more damage. It was enough damage that people were like, it was like 350% or something like that, versus the 300 that the other one gave. But I've since moved over because they kind of nerfed Executioner a good bit. Like it lost a good bit of its power. It's down from like 350 to like 325. That extra damage that we now have is so good, especially in any AoE fight like I just did. It's like I can't not do this, right? Like it's just that good. But yeah, like my damage, AoE damage is insane. Like just absolutely bonkers. And I love it. So
Gio in chat says the main reason was that almost no one was playing two-handed in dungeons.
You know, that is not untrue. That's really, I don't think I've ever seen anyone else outside of like people who are leveling and clearly leveling, like you could tell they're leveling, are using two-handed in dungeons. I'm like the only one. Pandemonium. As Pandemonium says, Arg, I hate that jellyfish. Best for two-hander like my Templar. Yeah, I pretty much biting jabs to get the crit buff, and then just reverse slash, and it was insanity. Absolute insanity. Thank you, Isel Zans, for the follow. Thank you. Yeah, I had to mark that down because it was so freaking awesome, and I love my two-hander. Like I refuse to give it up. I know dual wield's the better setup in terms of damage, but my two-hander does enough that I'm not doing any of this super cutting edge rating or anything that requires like the max amount, or you'll die. I mean, I do comparable, like seriously comparable damage to other builds. I think I'm like maybe 10% off of like the top end build, which isn't overly a lot when you get to that amount of numbers. Like it is nuts. So, but like during that AoE phase, I looked at my DPS. I was doing like 150,000 DPS a second. Like it was just.
I just
insanity.
realized what I forgot.
Yeah, what?
I forgot to buy the gold Plague Doctor rings last weekend.
Oh.
At the vendor.
Oh.
I had the gold too. I was like, okay, I'll buy this. And then I thought, okay, I'll buy it tomorrow. And then I forgot to actually log in and buy them. And I just realized that when you said end game stuff.
What is... Actually, you know what? If you're part of our Discord, you can use the /alliance in the Elder Scrolls Online. Well, I'm doing it right now because I want to see what's on the market. So today, Jailbreaker necklace, Ember Shield necklace, Spriggan necklace. Ooh, Spriggan.
See, it also had Bloodspawn helmet as well last week with the impenetrable version, which I don't have. And now I just remembered it. Oh man, well,
guess not anymore, right? Oops. Yeah. No, I'm definitely gonna have to. I'm debating. I don't know if I want to spend 150,000, but Spriggan's is a really good filler set if you can't get like two-fanged viper. So I don't know.
I don't care. Those are DPS stuff, man. But as Gio said, like, don't talk to Ark about DPS. He probably doesn't even get the half of what you are saying. Half is generous.
This is true. Very true. Yeah. So that was it. So let's see. Yeah, got hard mode DSC2 for them because they didn't finish it. That's the one with the poison. It was funny because when we were in chat, people are like, "Oh no, we can never handle the poison." I said, "Nope, just follow me. I'll tell you what to do." And I guided them all the way around, and we got them that hard mode. So people were really excited about that because I'm like, "Just follow my lead. I'll tell you what to do." During poison phase, whenever he does poison, just stack up on me, kill the little ads, and heal up. Like, don't even get near the boss at that point. Just follow me. It's a little slow going, but we actually got it, and they got that achievement, so they were excited about that. Probably the most important thing, almost the most important thing. almost beat Nate in Legends.
Oh.
He did a clutch move at the end that somehow or another sealed it for him. But even afterwards, I texted him. He's like, dude, I was sweating. You almost had me. You were so close. I'm like, I was like screaming and did text going, no, I almost had the best message for Tails that I beat Nate and then you won at the end. But he's like, yeah, he said, yeah, I was very close. And it was, I don't know how he pulled that clutch move off, got a good card that saved at the end, but the entire time, I had him on the run and he could feel it. That was almost my crown.
We still gotta do the main tournament event. Nerdman versus Nate.
Oh yeah, I know, right? So that was definitely one of the highlights of my 2 weeks, was almost beating Nate. I mean, I was like salivating, going, I'm gonna get him. This is gonna be great. Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna have to close the Tales of Tamriel down after the end of this because I'll never beat this again. It's gonna be so amazing. And well, here we go. Tales is still going because I didn't win. So yeah. Okay. My last 2 notes is I was working on Dark Brotherhood. And 2 things I made note of is only one quest. So I didn't really have a lot of time to play because I was doing a bunch of other stuff, such as the holiday event, trying to pick stuff up. And, we were streaming IC almost every night and things like that we were playing. So I didn't really get a good chance to really dig in and do more Dark Brotherhood. But I did one. And I'm on the quest where I go to meet Governor Fortunata? Yeah. And the first thing I realized, and I even said this on chat when I looked at it, I said this is a clear a clear Walking Dead reference, because she's sitting on her throne and there's a cinch tiger sitting next to her. I don't know if anyone watches Game of Thrones, but if you are not Game of Thrones, Walking Dead. If you watch The Walking Dead, when you get to the first episode with Ezekiel and the Kingdom, when he's introduced to you, he's sitting on this little throne with a tiger chained next to him, and I'm like, oh, it's a reference to The Walking Dead, because she's sitting on this throne. There's a cinch tiger sitting next to her. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And then the other thing, the contract that she had me do is, and the reason why I thought this was awesome, and maybe other people might not, the only person I could think of that may find this also interesting is Wicked Wolf, because we often listen to the History of Rome podcast. We go back and forth with that. But the person who you're taking a hit out on is a man by the name of Marcus Scipio. Now, the reason why I thought this was awesome was, do you know anything about Roman history, Ark?
Not really.
Okay. Well, the name Scipio is actually a huge name, and actually this was before the Roman Empire actually formed. This was still part of the early Republic. There was a general by the name of Scipio, and actually I have to look him up now, so I'm going to do that. Scipio, who is known as Scipio Africanus, but his real name was Publius Cornelius Scipio Africanus, so Scipio the African. He was a Roman general who actually took over a lot of what was now modern-day North Africa and Carthage and all those areas. And the reason why he's so important is he kind of issued in this... He was odd for Roman generals because he had like long hair. He was this really charismatic, easy to follow kind of guy, and his soldiers loved him. And
he won me at the long hair.
Yeah, which was odd for Roman generals at that time. There he goes. He beat Hannibal, which was also one of the things that kind of set him apart. Was Hannibal was pretty much just causing havoc all throughout the Roman Empire, and with Scipio, a lot of historians point to Scipio as setting the path to allow for Julius Caesar to set up his empire, because the idea of a very charismatic leader was something that was kind of frowned upon from other, it fell outside of the norm. And he went after his successes. It was more or less okay to be this really charismatic, this leader that your men loved, not necessarily feared. And this caused what we pretty much know is the downfall of the Roman Republic and into the Roman Empire, with Julius Caesar, crossing the Rubicon after refusing to lay down his imperator status. So I thought it was neat that they pulled in the name Scipio, and especially because they're Imperials, which are very, very close to the Roman. Even their armor is Roman Empire inspired. So to know the name Scipio was something that I, as a Roman history lover, was like, oh, it is pretty awesome. So I know some people are like, yeah, that made no sense. But to me, the fact that he was an Imperial named Scipio, I was like, oh, nope, done. This is awesome. I love it. So yeah, that was my those are my tales for this week. Obviously, I've been doing a lot of the holiday event to try to pick up. I got all my stuff now, and we're here. I've been running IC nights. We did IC drinking and fishing came back last week. Which...
Wait, why did not I hear about this then?
I don't know. We did it in Imperial City, where we brought all of our characters. So we didn't have any AD, thank goodness. But we had EP and DC people there, and we all were just fishing in Imperial City and trying not to kill each other accidentally. Thankfully, the only death that actually happened was me killing Storms, because I happened to run into Imperial City and I was getting attacked by something, and Storms comes running up and I'm like, oh, DC, and I killed him, and I'm like, oh wait, I wasn't supposed to kill him. So we didn't have any other PvP deaths. It was actually really funny because PvP was happening around us. People would see us, they'd go up to attack and realize we were just fishing, and they left us alone. It was actually kind of crazy that no one was attacking us. It was probably the nicest IC night I think I've ever done. Like, I don't understand why no one attacked us. It was kind of crazy. But they didn't. Yeah. So there we go. And Pandemonium is brilliant for me. I'm a history buff. Now I can't go to sleep. Curse you both. I tell you, it's awesome. So yeah. But yeah, we did drinking and fishing on Thursday night.
Great of you. I'm upset now.
Yeah, we brought back drinking and fishing. So, because it was kind of moving into holidays, people are off, so that's what we did. It was a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. So there we go. So definitely check out if you're not part of our guild, Wings of Fate, you can send either myself or Storms or a message. Leave us your account name in Discord or in-game, and we'll get you an invite. Of course, check out all of our events that we run, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Pretty much every day except for Sunday we have events running, so definitely check that out. Oh yeah, and I was in the Nord Bather Tau as well, Ark. That's how I was fishing.
Well, who did the Red Guard dance if I wasn't there?
No one did the Red Guard dance. See, it was...
How is that a fishing and drinking event then?
I don't... See, I'm telling you. No, you weren't there, so no naked Red Guard dance happened. So...
And you called that an event?
No, there's no event without naked Ark dancing Dance Red Guard. So, yeah. Fun times. All right. The other thing that I wanted to mention is we also, for those who are listening to this, you'll probably notice that the episode number jumped up one number. It's because we did a special episode, which will actually go live 4 minutes ago, actually. That was episode 161, which is our holiday decorating contest. Obviously, if you're listening to it, it was done as a stream to talk about our holiday decorating contest. What we had was people decorate their houses in Christmas, and we voted on which one was the best. So it's a short episode, but it's fun to either listen or watch. I did my best to describe everything as I could. Obviously, if you're watching the YouTube, you get a little better because, we're looking at houses and stuff like we did the last time. But yeah, it was definitely fun regardless. So you'll get 2 episodes this week. Yep, there we go.
Well, we did miss 1 episode last week. So
yeah, it makes up.
That's good.
Sort of like a little bonus. So there we go. All right. Well, that's the end of our tale. So we're going to move on to the sermon. So I got to get this ready. There we go. All right.
Get into the mood and all.
Get into the mood. Move my cat. There we go. Move my mic. Take a drink. Whew. All right. So we're up to Sermon 18, which... And my kid calling for me. Hello, Ezra. He's going, hi, Dada. That's so cute. Hi, Dada. Anyway. I can hear him up there. Hi, Dad. Yep. Oh, man.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yep. I'll be up in a little bit, little Nord. He's like, okay. All right. So, 36 Lessons of Vivec, Sermon 18. No, Dad. Oh, no, Dad. No, Dad. All right. Now Vivec felt that he had taught the Hortator as much as he could before the war with the Dwemer came. The warrior poet decided he had to begin his Book of Hours at this point, because the world was about to bend with its age. Vivec entered the Morning Hold and announced to IM that he was going to fight the 9 monsters that had escaped the Mutra. Ooh. I will return, he said, to deal the last blow to the Grand Architect of the Dwemer. IM said, out of the 9 you will only find 8, though they be mighty. The last is already destroyed by your decision to create the Book of Hours. Vivec understood what IM meant himself. Why, she asked, are you in doubt? Vivec knew that his doubt made him the sword of the Triune, and so he did not feel shame or fear. Instead, he explained, and these are the words. Can a member of the Invisible Gate become so archaic that its successor is not so much an improvement of the exact model, but rather a related model that is just needed more because of the currency of the world's condition? As a mother, do you not have to worry, unless things in the future are so strange that even Set cannot understand? Neither does the executioner or the fool, but I am neither. These ideals are not going to change in nature, even though they may change in representation. But even in the West, the Rainmaker vanishes. No one needs him anymore. Can one oust the model not because the model is set according to the ideal, but because it is tied to an ever-changing unconscious moral agenda? This is what was said to IM when Vivec was whole. The wise shall not mistake this. IM said, this is why you were born of the Nechaman's wife and destined to merge with the simulacrum of your mother. Gilled and blended in all the arts of star-wounded East, under water and in the fire and in metal and in ash, 6 times the wise, and became the union of male and female, the magic hermaphrodite, the martial axiom, the sex death of language, and unique in all the middle world. Vivec knew then why he would record his Book of Hours. This sermon is forbidden. In this world and others, 18 less 1, the victor, is the magical disc, hurled to reach heaven by violence. This sermon is untrue. The ending of the words is Am Sylvie. All right. So this one's just a complete cluster. Like, it's insanity.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell? I don't know. I enjoyed it as usual, but as usual, I did not understand what he was talking about at all.
There's a couple things here. First off with this, this is a precursor to the war with the Dwemer, right? That happens at the First Era, year 700-ish, with the disappearance of the Dwemer, the Battle of Red Mountain. He makes reference here to, I will return to deal the last blow to the Grand Architect of the Dwemer. Okay. This was actually the Grand Architect is what was his name? I have to look it up, which is odd. I'm gonna look it up. The Grand Tonal Architect, Morrowind. In any case, this was the guy who decided. Wow, that's odd. I have a whole bunch of Arabic websites just came up when I typed that.
Could it be Yagrum Bagarn?
No,
Maybe.
nope. He was gone. That. He was gone at this point.
Yagrum Bagarn is the one in the tower of that Talvani.
Yep.
Right.
Cagnarak. That was who it is. Cagnarak. Because he has the tools. He created Keening Sunder and Wraithguard. So he's the Grand, our Chief Tonal Architect. So he's the one who's actually, at this point in the story, is referred to, and he's going to go back and destroy him because he was essentially trying to use the heart of Lorkhan. So this is essentially before they achieve their divinity, or so it says, to destroy this. But here's the thing where he says the sermon's untrue. So much of this is going back and forth because the Hortator, Indorel Nerevar, and Dumak Dwarf King were actually friends. Like, they did not want to go to war with one another. So the idea that he was pretty much proclaiming that he was going to come back and destroy the Dwemer was something that set the Hortator apart, because that wasn't necessarily true from the character that we know, because they were friends and he did not want to go to war with the Dwemer. It's one of the last things he wanted. But unfortunately, as you know, the course of events that happened. So this is also a point in time where IM makes reference yet again to some of his early sermons, which is why it's kind of recorded again that, you know, he was the magic hermaphrodite, the simulacrum of his mother. And again, the sermon being untrue, as it says, is because so much of this stuff that Vivec writes, you know, he's a poet. He's known to change the story. Whether or not this whole simulacrum event was just a concoction to kind of make him seem more than what he was. Because, of course, if you follow the events and believe what the dissident priests believe, that they stole divinity from the heart of Lorkhan, they were already adult elves by the time they achieved divinity. If you believe the early sermons of Vivec, he was already divined while still in his mother's womb. So that's one of the reasons why it says this sermon's forbidden and that it's a lie, is that so much of this runs contrary to what everyone else either has been told before or what the distant priests believe. So, yeah. There was another thing in here that I wanted to make mention of, and I wish I could remember it. Obviously, this is going up to where he's going after the making reference to his spear again. And I like how he talks about he's going after to hunt these the monsters that he and Molag Bal birthed, right? And that escaped his Muthra. So it's you know, what's he referring to there? Clearly his spear. But yeah, so this is very esoteric in its writing. A lot of it makes very little sense as a whole, other than the fact that, like I said, it's contradictory to a lot of what was said in the past. So there we go. Sermon 18, guys.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I got 18 more. Yeah. 36 less. Yeah. 18 more.
IB Runners, my favorite podcast. How are you guys doing? Oh, awesome, man. I appreciate that. It's really nice that you'd say that. Thank you. Pandemonium Vivec, a liar? No. Sarcasm. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, he definitely is. But yeah. Well, I mean, even the whole 36 lessons are nothing more than a concoction designed to solidify the idea of their divinity in the people's minds. Even though technically speaking, it's like, you know, if you breaking the playing God mode here a little bit. If you played Morrowind and went through all that story, you know that the events of the Dissident Priest are actually correct, so that all of these sermons are all propaganda. So, yeah, there you go. All right. Well, Ark, that reaches the end of our episode.
All right. Well, it was a good episode.
Yeah.
Considering we didn't have any news.
Well, that seems to be pretty much the case. Par for the course with ESO lately.
Yeah. I'm hopeful that with the new year, like as soon as 2018 hits, we'll get some news, like what a new DLC, new expansion, all the good stuff. Hopefully, at least I hope so.
Well, I mean, at the beginning of the new year, you're right, because we're going to need to know what the next expansion is, because we'll have one more, right? Yeah, before the next. Yeah, because we'll have a new chapter soon. The new chapter would probably be in summer if they follow their state, but we'll have one more, which I think. Let's see, we already had our dungeon for this. So what's next? I think it's a quality of life patch. Is that what it is?
Wait, didn't we get quality of life?
Well,
no, wait, we got Horns of the Reach, which is the dungeon. We got Clockwork City, which is the zone.
And the chapter, which we got. So the next thing in line is, I think, a quality of life patch.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe a systems patch. Yeah. Yeah, based on their current structure and what they've already talked about, our next in line is a quality of life patch, which may add a system or something, but I'm curious what it's actually going to be. I mean, maybe there will be...
Pandemonium says it's going to be Somerset Isle. It's hinted at in Clockwork City, but if they follow their usual DLC or expansion sequence, it's got to be a quality of life patch.
Yeah.
As Zach said.
And now I could see Somerset Isle being the next chapter, like big expansion. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But I don't see it as the next patch, just based on the fact they've even said in their roadmap that their new roadmap says they're going to do one chapter a year, one dungeon pack a year, one zone a year, and then one quality of life patch. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe the quality of life patch will have some sort of storyline attached to it, but I don't think they're going to add a zone. I think it's really is going to be related to some sort of system.
Maybe we'll get something like Transmog.
What did we get last year? What was last year?
Housing.
Was it housing?
Wasn't housing last year? I think so.
I really wish I could remember this, what it was.
I think it was housing.
Was it housing?
Yeah, I can't think any other... Like, one of the quality of life was Champion Point and Justice system.
Yeah.
That was the first quality of life we got. Then it was the housing, and after that
maybe it was housing. Yeah, had to be housing. Yeah. What about spellcrafting?
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, I mean, it's about time they brought the spellcrafting, because other than that, I can't think of any.
Well, if you think of, I was gonna say, if you think about it, they add spellcrafting, that would be about the perfect time to do a giant rebalance of skills and stuff, because they would have to because of spellcrafting being added in. Yeah,
which is scary actually, because after that hits, the game's balance will be broken for at least a couple or maybe 3 months.
Oh,
considering their previous performance with balance in the game.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a cluster. But yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking it's gonna be. I mean, maybe I'm a little off, but I don't know. I feel like that would be it.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Housing was February, so yeah, you're right. Yeah, it would, if that was it. That was our quality of life patch. So we got a system. I expect a system to come into it, because that's kind of what they do with quality of life. But in terms of what systems we know are going out, the only system I really know is
spellcrafting.
Spellcrafting, yeah. So I don't know. Guess we'll see. All right, Ark, where can people find you?
You can find me anywhere, Arkhaniir. That is ARKHANIIR. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, basically. That's the fastest way to contact me, but you can send me an email at arkhaniir@gmail.com. You can also find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Arkhaniir. I try to stream as much as I can, but after getting a full-time job, it became a bit more difficult, but hopefully I'll get a schedule going, but we'll see. You can find me there as well. And that's about it.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely know what you mean with schedule. I've been trying to do the same thing with DCN, and I've been streaming more than than normal. I've been actually streaming a lot lately, trying to build the channel up, doing its thing. So, of course, if you're not following us, twitch.tv/Dungeon Crawler Network, I encourage you to do so, because I am streaming, and we'll be doing a lot more. I've been doing that almost every night whenever I can get a chance. So that's something I'm still trying to build up to. Excuse me. The other thing, I've been doing Dark Souls. I started a Dark Souls 1 stream, and I pretty much
saw that one morning.
Yeah, I got out of the starting zone and I've already died 5 times. I need to figure out an app or something. So if anyone streams a lot and knows of it, like a kill counter app or something that I can run, please let me know. Because
I think there is not an app, but you can define a command that, if you type !death, it will increment one.
Okay.
I think that's available. I'll look it up for you.
Oh, I appreciate
I know some
that.
People that are using it, so I'll let you know.
Yeah, because I definitely think if you can find that, it'd be great, because I want to do that for the Dark Souls. And there's a follow. Thank you so much to pull this up. Angry Bot. Thank you, Angry Bot, for the follow. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Yeah, but I want to do something a little different, and I'm like, you know what? I've had this, and people seem to love to watch me die, because that's what people were doing the other day when I was doing vet dungeons. So there we are. See, watching me die. Yeah, thanks a lot, Meows Bark. But yeah, so we'll be doing that. All right, so DungeonCrawlerNetwork.com is where you can find everything that we do, all of our podcast, everything we've been doing over there. Of course, you can check out all of our past episodes of Tales of Tamriel, as well as our newest podcast for Ashes of Creation, which is called From the Ashes. We are coming up on 30 some odd episodes, almost another few weeks, and we'll be at a full year of podcasting about the game already, which is insane because it just entered alpha this week, actually. So insanity has been going on over there. Definitely check it out. We actually have some interesting stuff coming up, which I'll say. We have an interview planned with the creative director of Intrepid Studios for Ashes of Creation coming up after Alpha Zero, so stay tuned for that. That's really exciting. We've interviewed Steven 4 times, I think, already, 3 or 4 times, and he's coming on again after Alpha Zero to give us another interview, talk about that. So if you've been interested in that game at all, definitely check that out. Yeah, you can follow me at Aggelos, AGGELOS_WOF on Twitter. In game, an ESO is at Aggelos. Nice and simple. And of course, you can follow DCN everywhere, Facebook.com, Twitch.tv, all that /Dungeon Crawler Network. And of course, if you want to support us, you can head on over to Patreon.com/Dungeon Crawler Network, and every little bit helps. It's amazing. If everyone who listened to this show gave $1 a month, both Ark and I could do this full time. Just saying. Seriously, like if everyone gave $1, I'm going to be like Wikipedia here, but if everyone who listened gave us $1, we could both essentially just do this full time. And that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Daily ESO content. And all sorts of stuff. It'd be amazing. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate everything you guys do listening to this show. If you've enjoyed the show, go ahead and leave us a review on iTunes. I actually need to go over that. I noticed a couple people have left us 5-star reviews because the number keeps going up. I need to look at that and give shout outs where applicable. But I really do appreciate you leaving us a review over there. It's really awesome. You guys are the best. You guys are the reason why we continue doing this show. Seriously. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Tales of Tamriel, and we will be back next week. Hopefully, if there's news. See you later, everybody.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seir it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark down in an alien well. Magicka fused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to men, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the end.